and welcome to this episode of Trident Talks. I'm Rosie, a senior associate over at Trident, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ron and Guy today, the founders of Sola Security. Now, before I ramble on, because I can definitely do that, I'm sure the listeners would love to hear a little bit about both of your backgrounds and also what got you to where you are today.
All right, go ahead. I'll start then. I spent the last 25 years in cybersecurity. Like many others, I started with the military service and then followed by working for a US-based software as a service company called LivePerson. I spent 10 years with that company, 5 as a security engineer and 5 as a global CISO. After that, I started my own consulting firm, working with a lot of hypergrowth and cloud native companies for additional 5 years. And almost 2 years ago, we started Sola together. And Guy and I know each other for 25 years back from that military service. And we go hand in hand in the cyber alley since then.
That's amazing. I think founders like that have had that long kind of together as well. You obviously know how to, I guess, work with each other, but maybe challenge each other as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that. And Guy, what about your background?
So similar to Ron, almost 25 years in the cybersecurity trenches. I also grew up in the army. I think we always laugh about it that when we started our services, information security, not cyber, not back then. If you take, for example, DSPM, that today it's like top technology and company. Back then, our top DSPM was to put top secret stickers on closet. That's where we started our journey. And then I moved after a few years in the army, also to the private sector. Worked as a private consultant to private and public companies. Then I joined Ron to the LivePerson company, to the security team. After a few years there, I moved to AppsFlyer as their CISO. Then after a few years and some free time during COVID time, I decided to jump into the entrepreneurship side. Build a company called Sola Security and the CI/CD, ASPM domains. After a little bit less than 2 years, Palo Alto acquired us. We joined Palo Alto, then worked there for a few years. And then after that time, decided together with Ron to jump back again into the entrepreneurship side and build Sola and try to do something which is very unorthodox in our industry.
Awesome. And then the rest is history, right? Got to do this conversation.
It's history in the making. You asked about walking together for so many years. I think it's a really huge benefit for us because we know each other for so long and we know the pros, the cons, and how everyone reacts to anything. So far, it's a very good balance for us, and we're happy with this new journey that requires from entrepreneurs to give everything that they have to make this a success story.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for that. Just to kind of kick off that conversation, let's kind of jump right in then to, I guess, understand a bit more about the product, but also about the inspiration behind Sola, right? Like every great startup has kind of a great story behind it. How did you guys come to that decision that this is the time that, I guess, the world and the space needs Sola?
I think it was a really good combination of couple of things. I spent 5 years as the owner of a consulting and technical projects company in cybersecurity. And at some point in the evolution of consulting firms, you get to see a pattern that is getting over and over again. And I had an idea to start automating some of the processes. And when I talked to Guy about it, he said, it's a great idea, and I think it can work. but it's relatively small. You need to think bigger. And I told him, I don't want to think bigger. I think I'm good in my consulting firm, and I don't think that I need to think bigger. Instead, but then think about what companies like Canva was doing to their industry, and companies like Monday, Notion, Stripe, they democratized, they kind of broke the silos. And then that's what Guy had in mind. So you can take it from there, how we connected.
I think also, as you heard about our journey in the industry, Ron and I, you can say, had the privilege to see any angle of the industry. We started from the bottom of security team all the way to the CISO position, work in startups, work for the biggest cyber companies. So we saw everything. And we realized that the industry, the cybersecurity industry is almost like the last outpost of having got the change that a lot of industry experience, like the names that Ron mentioned. We talked about Stripe, we talked about Canva, Notion, Monday, and so on. And basically, if you can pick in almost in any domain, any enterprise software domain outside of the cyber, you will find a name that change the mindset of how you can do what you want to do in that domain. By the way, none of the names that we mentioned, even slightly say next gen of payment, next gen of design. No, they come and say any developer can, with a single API, can do it. Canva, anyone can design. Monday, you can start with small and then grow project management. And when you go back into the cybersecurity industry, nothing, silent. And everybody are building very big solution, very good solution. We're not saying that they're not good solution, very big solution, but it's completely the opposite than what is happening in any other industry for many reasons. And then the AI revolution arrived, and we just started the journey as well with the AI revolution. And it helped us to break two main barriers to go into the cybersecurity. One is the knowledge barrier, and one is the creation barrier. And this is why we thought together that that's the best time to start. And now you can see how Anthropic followed us with the latest announcement.
Yeah, well, last week I think all of LinkedIn was going crazy about that, and probably will continue to as well. But you guys
LinkedIn and the entire market falling and breaking due to that.
I know, insane. I was watching everything on my trading 212 app just crash really. But you guys, you describe yourself as or market yourself as an AI cybersecurity assistant, right? I guess if we can dive a little bit more into kind of the product and the platform, what is it specifically you guys are doing and trying to build?
It's a pretty simple thing. Guy and I kind of came to the realization that security teams almost never get to experience any quick wins in their journeys and day to day. The opposite is true. When they try to solve a security challenge, they're hit with a very resource-heavy, time-consuming, complex solutions. And what we bring to the table, the news, is that we think there is a different way to do it, and that's the democratization out of it. We provide a very, I would say, advanced level of AI, science, machine learning, and a lot of other buzzwords that essentially means very sophisticated algorithms and proprietary information. And we produce a very high fidelity cyber intelligence at the end of it in a very simple way, which means we empower any security practitioner in any security team to take Sola connected data source. We then ingest thousands of data points from those data sources. And with a single prompt, we get into actionable outcomes. And in order to do that, you need a very strong and kind of deep technical knowledge team of experts to build that and to enable those activities for security teams that can't necessarily afford to have it on their own. And we really try to simplify everything for the security team and arm them with an empowering tool that will help them do their job better. We're not trying to replace security practitioners. We're not trying to replace security tools. We're simply trying to make the experience much more accessible, smart, and accurate with the benefits of AI and with where the industry actually needs to be.
I would add to that. Are you using Claude or ChatGPT during your day-to-day?
I use both pretty much every day. Yeah. Yeah.
So the feeling that you have when you're using them, that's the feeling that we want to provide to security teams at the end of the day. The empowerment and the ability to do and know almost any aspect of their day-to-day without any barriers of technical skills, without any barriers of budget, resources, time consuming, trying to mix answers from multiple areas and try to understand the relationship between them. That's what we're trying to do. By the way, our concept says that, or our belief is that, again, with all security products today are very good and amazing, but few years from today, they are obsolete. Because you will not use or do security the same way that you're doing today. Not because they're not doing it good, because it's still in a way that it's in silos, it's still in a way that you have a lot of data and you need to move fast and connect thousands of data points with relationship between them, and you're unable to do that with siloed solution. Also, in most cases, you don't need all the solution. Going back, again, go back to the names that we mentioned around our inspiration. Take Monday, okay? Monday, you had project management solution before Monday. Very good one. Monday came to the world and say, most of the people don't need this big solution. By the way, also like Canva, most of the people don't need Photoshop. But of course, if you need them, go ahead and buy them. But most people need to start with something small, something relevant to their needs, and then grow over time. And this is exactly what we're saying that the security team need with the empowerment of the AI that allow you basically to remove any barriers around the creation and the knowledge.
The thing is that today it's relatively easier for us to introduce this concept. As Guy mentioned, if you use either Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever AI assistant in your day-to-day, and who doesn't today, the fact that security teams cannot use that on their own data and their own assets and their own environments is a big problem. And they use those tools, but they are detached from their environments and they're detached from everything, and that's keeping them behind. So today, it's much more easier to explain and to kind of deliver the message that we originally started with. And this big word that we said, democratization, and becoming a frontier company of cybersecurity and AI, this is what it means. The ability to take a person that is only 2, 3, maybe 4 years in IT or cybersecurity and arm them with the knowledge and the capabilities and the ability to do things similar to what Lovable is doing in their own industry, is simply game-changing for security teams.
Yeah, it's huge, right? And am I right that it's accessible because you can use like normal, like everyday language in those prompts?
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Okay.
We actually have a capture the flag competition coming on later this week.
Nice.
And one of the claims that we have is that anyone can use Sola and even win this capture the flag competition, even if they don't have a deep technical knowledge. As long as you can use natural language and conversational interaction, it's as simple as that. And I'm pretty confident that was, yeah, that's an easy one.
Again,
Okay,
going back to our inspiration, the inspiration with the acceleration of the AI, that's what guiding us every day in how we are building, how we are even selling the product, all the way to the pricing, how the featuring the product. Everything is how easy to use, how quick time to value, how is affordable to anyone, and how we are working every day to empower the people that are using it. We are not selling it to the mom and pops of the world. We are selling it to security professionals. But think about how many people, how many security practitioners you know in your day to day that they have a lot of constraints about what they can do with their technical skills, and how they are limited to specific solution that is act like a one size fits all.
Oh yeah, I mean, literally every single day there's like a conversation with a different, even like CISOs really, but all the way down to like just like a security architect or someone that's almost, like you said, being capped by their own knowledge just because they haven't had enough time in kind of industry, right, to learn. Like you can't kind of fault someone for being only maybe 4 years into their career and not being able to kind of have that deep technical understanding. So you're right, you're giving them that ability to kind of almost like level up as well through like a different platform, right? Also, quick question as well, because we've used kind of that analogy of like ChatGPT or Claude or any of the other AI assistants. Obviously, in regards to like time, it's pretty much, well, it's very quick, right? It's a matter of seconds that I could type something into ChatGPT and get an answer back. Do you have like a time on Sola? Like how quickly does this happen?
Yeah, it depends on the scenario and the complexity of what you're trying to do. And that's one of the challenges in every AI product today. The user expectations are with what they are already used to use, meaning they see ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and they expect that any prompt that they have will return seconds later. When you do cybersecurity or when you do deep research, you do not expect it to happen that quick. Maybe you do, but it's not realistic, especially if you want to have factual, tested, and high quality answers or responses or products, deliverables out of that AI. And I'm happy and kind of proud to say that comparing to what I expect, at least as a former consultant and former CISO, even if it's not done in seconds, it's done in minutes. And those are things that used to take me at least either hours, days, or weeks. So anything that is not taking me anymore weeks, days, or hours, and it's just translated into minutes in cybersecurity makes a lot of sense. And I have to say I use both. I'm a heavy user of agents and AI outside of Sola, meaning not only the Sola Copilot. And sometimes I get a feeling that those copilots may file an abuse against me because I'm trying to challenge them so much. But I do the same with Sola because there are so many things. Sometimes you send Sola for a task of analyzing something really, really complex across 5 different data sources. And I don't know, like 5 minutes later, you have the most detailed report that I know it would have taken 5 days otherwise to compile it. So I'm happy with the performance of that.
Yeah, it seems like it's like I mean, from my side, right, and I'm sure the listeners will be thinking this as well, like a no-brainer for kind of CISOs down to security practitioners, whatever kind of the level you are. What, I guess, like feedback have you got from kind of current customers or people that have even just kind of maybe played around with the product?
So, so first of all, we have a lot of feedback that says that the empowerment, talk about the empowerment that they have. Second, it's still connected to how security teams are wired into security solution. And in most cases, they're asking us, okay, where to start? What is the starting point? And that's for most people, for most security teams, they're used to the fact they're getting a solution connected to whatever they need to connect it, and the security solution start to throw on them a lot of data items, whether they need it, whether they don't. It doesn't really matter for the solution. You bought the solution, and they now need to throw at you thousands of events or issues and so on to justify the payment. And we say, no, let's start with a question. What challenge you want to solve? Again, go back to your experience at Claude, ChatGPT. There are templates. We also have templates. We also have the ability to pick area and then start from that area. And we do have some assistance in providing you and guidance where to start. But at the end of the day, the core fundamental of what or fundamental value of what we're doing is to allow you to pick and then start wherever you want and not spreading you with tons of issues. You want to focus on 3 risks on AWS. Give me top 3 risks on my AWS. That's it. If you want to focus on identity, ask him. I want to focus on identity. Give me top identity issues on GitHub, AWS, and my Okta. That's it. This is what I want to take care of now, and this is what it will work. Then you can enhance it. Then you can move to other questions and so on. That's what the biggest change. Then go back to the experience that you have with Claude and with ChatGPT. By the way, also Claude Code. It's not starting exploding with code on that. You need to guide. You need to tell. I need a code that do X, Y, and Z, and he will write it for you.
Maybe it's worth mentioning that we developed Sola, like the product, for about a year in stealth mode. And once we felt it's product and market ready for a beta phase, we didn't go to try to sell it. We simply opened it up to the public in a public beta program. And we invited anyone who thought that our vision and idea and perspective makes sense to them to simply try the product for free. And over a period of 6 months, we gained really interesting momentum of more than 5,000 users across multiple industries, multiple sizes of organizations, multiple data sources that were connected. And that was a 6-month period of the open beta in which we shaped the product in public, basically. And we got a lot of feedback. And on an entire spectrum, some users logged in, tried to do things, really didn't get what Sola is all about.
Yep.
While other users kind of, they were half abusing the AI tokens because they saw all the benefits of it. So we get, I think that what we see is the majority of the feedback is very positive. We do see some security teams and some practitioners that are either in a kind of conception that they can build something like that on their own, which is fine. And they are still very conservative about it, while we see other practitioners and teams that are saying, we were just waiting to have something like that. We kind of saw the light. It's this is exactly what we were waiting for.
Yeah.
And as I think everything is progressing outside of Sola product, we see much more traction and much more laser-focused security teams that are approaching us proactively with specific requirements. They're saying, this is what we need from an AI platform for security. Do you do that? And that's when we know that we are on the right path, and we see great traction around it.
Again, we are like, you can say the cybersecurity industry is like 2 years behind the writing code industry. Take the code industry or developer domain 2 years ago. Everyone talked about the code creation. It's a niche. It's nice. We have one developer that testing it on something on the side. Nothing dramatic. We don't think it's going to be something big. 2 years later, do you know any engineering group that is not using code creator in almost all engineers? For most of the companies are already developing more than 50% of their code using code creator agent. And by the way, up until most of the discussion, up until Friday, Anthropic announcement, a lot of the discussion looked on AI as a risk, still as a risk. How I mitigate the risk, how I preventing it inside my company, how I'm not even to try to help the company, how I blocking for my company not using AI. And on Friday with Anthropic, which for us it's an amazing announcement.
Yeah, it's a gift.
It's a gift for us because it's like helping us to echo the message that we are speaking about. The AI is not a risk; it's an opportunity for the security team. And by the way, you look on the shift on many discussions by many security practitioners. Okay, how much do I going to use AI? Okay, we started, go back 2 years to the engineering. Okay, we will do it on as a side project. Let's talk in a year from now. What will be the sentiment in security as the adoption rate will grow and everyone will realize that this opportunity is not going to kill security jobs, not like it didn't kill developer job.
Yeah.
Evolving. There is evolution. And not, by the way, not like evolution, not the strongest will survive. The one that will adapt to the change will survive. And security teams are not going to be smaller, they're going to be stronger. That's the opportunity.
Yeah, I think we're seeing, well, maybe even kind of a year ago or even 6 months ago, a lot of people were, I guess, kind of scared and maybe worried. Like you said, this AI is coming to take over the world maybe, or the jobs, but I think you have to see it as acting like a teammate for your security teams, right? You're working alongside it and you're able to grow as a security professionals. It's not coming for you. I think there's that buzzword that is almost like a robot in one of those like movies from the 90s where it's kind of take over
It
the
will
world.
come at some point, and
It probably will
probably
but...
kill all of us. But until then,
By the way, will make more people, like when Ron and I, most of our career as engineers were generalists. In the morning, we needed to take care of GRC. In the noon, in product security. Afternoon,
application security or network
or whatever. And over time, people needed. By the way, because of the solutions that were very narrow and focused to specific domain, so a lot of people need to be specialized in specific domain. And now with AI, is going back to open it again, because the same security practitioner can do different tasks, and the deep dive will be done by Sola or Sola-like capabilities.
Yeah.
No need for anyone to specialize in cloud security. You can know to handle risk, and if you want to do deep dive on EC2 and why this specific EC2 has a problem, okay, Sola will assist you to understand why this EC2 is a bigger problem, and then identity on Okta, and then, I don't know, a GRC issue with ISO 27001 later.
So you're becoming more like generalist, because there's a big thing at the moment going around of like AI kind of specialists, right? Do you think that's going to become kind of more of a thing, or is that more of like a title, I guess you're seeing? It's like AI, like an AI specialist or chief of AI. There's a lot of these kind of titles popping up across the space.
That it's
the one that will support some of the stuff of the implementation, but most of the people, again, the people need to do security, will be a security specialist. And by the way, this was most of our career job title, security specialist, not cloud specialist or application specialist or application security specialist or whatever. Security specialist, because we needed to handle everything.
I think that for larger organizations, similarly to what we saw during COVID-19, we saw the enterprises and the very large enterprises introducing chief digital officers and digital transformation officers and so on. I think that this is how large organizations kind of roll out. They need to have someone to manage the change. They need to have someone to help with the transition. And they have a way of work, and that's why they spend sometimes millions of dollars on working with huge consulting firms on helping them do the transformation. But I think that this, we're kind of in the middle of a really, really, really huge transformation. And even the big strategic consulting firms are feeling that. And it simply changes everything. And I think that all the models that we are used to work according to will change, are changing, and we will just keep seeing this evolve. And the pace is so fast that it's really hard to grasp. And humans are not wired, I would say, to digest so many changes in such a short time, and obviously not in that magnitude. So there is some fatigue about everything that is colored with AI. But if you don't follow, you're going to find yourself in a very problematic state, I think.
Yeah, it's an exciting space to be in. It'll be interesting to see what the next kind of 6 to 12 months kind of looks like, to be honest. Final question for myself really is, obviously we've been speaking about growth and kind of how much the space has changed in the last, obviously 25 years for you guys, but just in even the last couple of years, right, since you founded Sola. what do you think for Sola is going to look like in the next, let's say, year? Don't need to give away any of your secrets or products that are going to come out, but are you going to be, I guess, focused on growth? Are you focused on kind of new kind of customer industries? What does that look like?
I don't know about Sola specifically, but the concept of Sola will be everywhere. Will be in every security team. Again, I'm not sure if it will be with Sola or with the equivalent to Sola. I hope it will be with Sola. And we will do everything to make sure it's with Sola. But the concept, again, go back to Cloud Code, Cursor, and everything. 2 years ago, there were like the beginning of first seeds in different teams. Today, everyone are using not different solutions, but the concept is everywhere. That's what I'm 100% sure will happen. The concept of Sola will be everywhere. By the way, it will accelerate much faster than what happened with code, because again, the world is so progressed with accelerated with code, then the time adoption of AI into the cybersecurity will be shorter.
And in addition to that, I think generally CEOs, boards, executive teams are demanding their companies to introduce AI and to use AI and to show efficiency and to show productivity. And that's why everything is really changing. And I totally agree with Guy. We have a very solid plan, and we have so many exciting things that are going to be released. And every day there is a huge progress here with the things that we release. And we are going to see the growth, and we're going to see the adoption of the Sola mindset across security teams. And we already see, by the way, the large players in the industry also adopting some of the language that we speak, which is another very positive signal for us. And we really hope that everyone will adopt it, because that's the way to do security now, not in the future.
It's the way it's going, yeah. Well, look, guys, thank you for joining today. I'm sure you're going to get a load of kind of inbound stuff now. We're going to link everything. So if anyone wants to reach out, they can kind of directly to you guys. But I'm excited to see kind of the growth and what the next year looks like.
Absolutely. And everyone can try it, because you can start for free. So it's pretty damn easy to do it.
Awesome. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. Have a great one.